eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede's fraud trial is going to be continuing this morning. She and 21 others are accused of defrauding the municipality to the tune of 320 million rand. It all relates to the tender involving Durban solid waste. Our senior eNCA reporter Dasen Thathiah reminds us what happened in court yesterday.
The 320 million rand corruption trial of former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede and others has resumed in the Durban High Court. The state has continued with its second witness on the stand, Shaun Hitler, who is employed by the city's Integrity and Investigation Unit. Now, that is the unit which signed off on the investigation which ultimately led to this criminal trial. After that cross-examination, a third witness was called, but that was very brief, and it was really just technical details around how certain tenders were signed off. I want to now bring in eThekwini, who I think one of the important bits for us to discuss will be around Mbuso Ngobo. He was actually the first witness and such a key witness because it was his signature that ultimately led to this investigation. But right now, whether he's going to be back on the stand or not is in question.
Yes, I think that is for the state to answer. Remember, when you are preparing for a trial as a state or the prosecutor, all your witnesses must be in order. So at this moment, all we know is that he was sick around about March. Then secondly, I think last week he resigned from the job that he's currently doing because of threats that's allegedly saying he's getting. So we don't know whether those threats are saying that he must not testify. He will know. So the state must be clear exactly whether he is sick or maybe he's being threatened to come and testify. So at this moment we don't know exactly what his position is, but his testimony must be completed.
But these are independent processes or independent really elements, the one being in his professional capacity. If he was receiving death threats, it shouldn't really impact the court case, not so?
I don't think it should, but the problem is we don't know what those threats say. Did they say he must not continue working, or is it threats that are linked to the court case? So once they are clear about that, then we'll know that there's a problem. But obviously, I'm sure the states will ensure that he's protected. We've seen when it comes to court, there are a lot of people that are protecting him, the security services. Also, they will definitely make sure that he comes to court and is protected and he testifies and then is completed.
Let's touch on another element of what unfolded in court today, and that is the continued trajectory that the defense seems to be following, and that is to ensure that they prove that the appointment of IFS as a forensic investigation company was flawed. And we heard in court that according to certain guidelines, there should have been 3 companies that were approached, but Shaun Hitler saying that they approached IFS because they had already been conducting an investigation with one of those companies. Now, what I would like to know is, if the defense is successful on that front, does it negate everything that may have been contained in that report which brought this matter to court?
It will depend what other evidence the state has. But remember, the main source of investigation is based on an investigation that was done by the units from the city in integrity for investigation. So if most of it is from there, we might have a problem for the states where everything that they've been pushing is based on a flawed process, which is ironically what they are alleging against the accused in this case.
Sure. Thank you so much for your time. eThekwini, they're just unpacking some of the details that have emerged in court. The state is expected to call new witnesses on Tuesday. I'm Dasen Thathiah at the Durban High Court.